It's blocked unbelievably. Wisconsin with a chance to pounce. Touchdown Badgers. Unbelievable. Simply shocking. Steinberg. Touchdown. Taylor slips through an opening, and Taylor into the secondary. Jonathan Taylor. Can he take it the distance? He can. Touchdown Badgers.
Live from the best college football town in the world, this is ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
It is Axe Week, baby! ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay pregame live from the Everlight Solar Studios. Hi, everybody. Colin Russo here, joined by former Badgers Chris Orr and Brad Nortman. ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay is presented by Coors Light. We need to refresh on game day. Choose the beer. It's as cold as the Rockies. Cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. With Mountains Blue, you know what to do. And that's Crush a Coors Light 2023 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. It's finally, for the second week in a row, another trophy game. I'm not sure how much stock we put into the Freedom Trophy that we won last week. But nonetheless, it is the Axe game, the circled game on the schedule. The Wisconsin Badgers go on the road today, 2:30 kickoff in Minnesota to take on the Golden Gophers and PJ Fleck. We're sitting at 5-6. First of all, gentlemen, before we get into the game, how was your Thanksgiving? Was it good?
It was wonderful. We were actually in your neck of the woods. Lexi and I went to New York City.
New York City?
Yeah, we left Wednesday morning, came back Friday night. We had Macy's Day Parade. We had Rockettes at Radio City, the whole thing.
You weren't visiting anybody? You just did?
Just wanted, the two of us.
What'd you think?
It was a blast. I mean, there were so many people there. Macy's Day Parade was really cool, but we were packed in like sardines. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Rockettes was great.
Weather was pretty solid.
It was really nice. Yeah. Like low 50s, high 40s.
Wow.
Man. We just walked around and got dinner and just saw the stuff. So it was great. It was a nice little getaway.
And did you see like the lights and everything? They still got all the Christmas stuff going and everything.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, and like, Fifth Avenue is just totally lit up, like all the stores, all the storefronts. And
it's got a good vibe to it. It puts you in the holiday mood.
It does. It puts you in the holiday mood for sure. So I'm back, refreshed, and ready for the holidays.
Enough of the East Coast. We don't want any more East Coast.
Right.
I was only there for 2 days either. Enough of that. Get out of here. Chris, your Thanksgiving was good?
My Thanksgiving was great, man. I was with my new baby. Last year, my wife was pregnant during this time, and so it's weird to first Thanksgiving with my daughter, and a couple of my old teammates came over, so it was a good time, man.
Oh, that was probably a blast.
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
Lots to be thankful for there.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast. And the weather. It's
been cold here.
That's a little scary to hear. 40 degrees in New York in November.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as
Let
here,
the
but
theories commence. It was pretty warm. I gotta say this. So we had you packed jeans and sweater or whatever, and like a jacket.
It was like sweatshirt weather.
But we'd be out there walking. And man, I mean, I'm telling you, we had to take that jacket off sometimes.
Yeah,
it was pretty nice.
It's also the people, you know, you get the buildings and everything, and also there's smoke coming out of every manhole in the whole city. That's gonna heat you up a little bit.
Some things were totally on brand. I mean, we saw you had the great pizza and all that kind of stuff, which we indulged in. We did,
you had the pizza and everything. What'd you think?
Of course,
it
was great.
Pizza's good.
It's really good though. You had that coal fire though, a little char on the bottom. It was really good. But then of course, we were walking one time at night. And you saw a rat go from garbage bag to garbage bag on the street. So you got the whole experience, which is great.
You see some characters.
There's
Did you take the subway?
We did not take the subway.
Oh,
We're big walkers.
Big walkers.
Don't take that subway.
The subway's interesting. You see a lot of characters on the
subway.
subway.
I'm not taking that subway.
Yeah, there were plenty of characters just on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't need to go find any additional
characters. There's characters everywhere.
Nonetheless, it is rivalry week for Wisconsin. Coming off a win, finally we could say that. The Badgers last week taking on Nebraska, winning that one by a score of 24-17 in overtime. Taking on Minnesota today. 3-game losing skid for the Golden Gophers right now. They lost the last 3 to Illinois, Purdue, and then last week to Ohio State by a score of 37-3. So if anything, the Minnesota team gives up some points. But nonetheless, they're going to come ready to play because they are playing for a bowl game. Wisconsin, bowl eligible last week. Finally, we don't have to deal with it this week. Escaped it to the second year in a row. I feel like when you two were playing, bowl eligibility was sort of an afterthought.
Oh, yeah.
Early October, mid-October. Oh, we're bowl eligible. Great.
For sure.
We're looking for something a little more than that. I think the standard has changed a little bit in terms of when you get bowl eligible. Is that the Super Bowl of the season becoming bowl eligible? It was a different time then as compared to what we're seeing the last 2 years.
It was a different time. I remember getting bowl eligibility as one of the early check boxes, right? I mean, it's like, hey, let's just roll through our non-conference.
Yep.
Let's start to get some Big Ten wins. Before you know it, you're bowl eligible.
Yep.
Check that box. Great.
Yep.
It's not even Halloween. Let's roll. And there's bigger things. So things have definitely changed. This program is not what it was currently when Chris and I were playing, but I think I still have confidence that they're going to continue to evolve and get the guys in there that they need, because clearly there's not the right marriage between players and coaches right now.
No.
And maybe even coaches to coaches, right? Because it's not like all these guys were on Fickle's staff in Cincinnati. So these early years, this is why Chris and I warned last year when they fired Paul Christ. It's like, look, it's not as easy as you think. It's not as easy as you think to go through a seismic change in your program. So it's going to take some years to flush it out, but it's good that they were bowl eligible. I missed you guys at post-game because I went to the game, which is really nice.
A lot of energy in the game, it seemed like.
There was good energy. I mean, they got down early, and I was a little bit concerned. But, hey, they fought back, and, you know, by the time you got to the third quarter and jump around, you felt like the energy back in the stadium. I felt like we've been missing a lot of the year. I think that helped spur them on to go there and win in overtime. So it was a fun environment. It wasn't quite what I remember it being, if I'm going to be quite honest. You know, upper deck and the corners were empty, and student section never got full. I would say that the top 15 rows at least. Like we were able to just like saunter into the student section with no problems if we wanted to. So there like atmosphere was good, but it wasn't great. Like,
it hasn't been good all year. I was at the Northwestern game. That atmosphere stunk.
Yeah. So, night game helped, and you know, a close, meaningful game helped.
Did people hang around after jump around?
Yeah, because it was close.
Yeah,
good. That never happens.
Close game.
Yeah.
That never happens. People can't wait to get out of there.
Usually the game's over.
Yeah.
Usually it's
That's
like,
why I think a night game,
people
people do like the night game.
Yeah.
So it was good, but I mean, this is an important game for us, right? I mean, I feel like the season. This was my thought going into the last 2 weeks. The season can't be salvaged, right? Not for the expectations we all bought into, but it can be like semi-salvageable.
Yeah.
Like you can walk away thinking, you know what, there is something to have hope for. If we would have went and lost last week and lost this week, I mean, man, ring the bell, sound the alarms. It is a scary proposition. But you know what? You win last week, a gritty win against not a bad football team. And if you can win this week, it's semi-salvageable.
Yeah, a good win last week. Nebraska at home. That was Brad Nortman speaking, also joined by Chris Orr. Colin Russo here live at the Everlight Solar Studios. ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, presented in part by Starion Bank. At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience today by going to starionbank.com. Remember, FDIC. Chris Orr, was the Minnesota game always the most important game on your schedule, your personal player schedule when you were playing? Was that always the most important game of the year in the regular season?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. It wasn't the most important. Me personally, it wasn't the most important game to me. It was Iowa. Up until we lost the Axe.
Which was in 2018.
It's just so I was a part of the streak, like the tail end of the streak. So my first exposure to Axe Week was we're 14 straight. Like you don't lose Axe.
It wasn't as back and forth.
Yeah,
as it.
It was 14 straight or 13 straight, something like that. And that Axe has one address. You can always tell guys, like there was guys that were playing with the Ravens with my brother that would talk trash to me about it, and I say, man, he's never seen it. He's never seen the Axe unless he came on a visit.
Yeah,
to
come to Wisconsin.
To UW,
yeah,
bro. Like he's never even seen it, bro. He doesn't even know what it looks like. Anyway,
so Iowa was that big game on your schedule.
Iowa was that. Then we lost it.
And then you're like, oh, I wish I had another year.
Yeah, we lost it in Camp Randall. And yeah, thankfully I did have another year. We lost it in Camp Randall. Like that senior class, I was really close with those guys, and that sobbing, man. It was on senior day. Tough. That was a tough year. It was when we went and played in the Pinstripe Bowl. And then the next year, oh, man, that entire offseason, everything we did was geared toward Axe Week. Everything was geared towards that. And, yeah, we went up there and kicked their door in and was rowing the boat with the Axe.
That was a snow game.
Oh, yeah, it was rowing the boat with the Axe in the middle of that field, man.
That's great.
It was a great feeling. I talked so much trash, too. I was so happy. Oh, I was so happy. There was a point in time where I was like, I'm a little nervous about going to Minnesota, bro. Like I don't want to be up here by myself without people I don't know, because I talked a lot of trash to them and I loved it.
Yeah. Is that a trash talking team? Do they talk trash?
It's like subtle. Yeah, subtle. Fleck will subtly talk trash, like
because he's got if Fleck's got his whatever the vibe of his locker room. It's very peculiar. It's very peculiar.
Yeah, bro. So like we lost. So it was their Super Bowl. Let me tell you that much. It was their Super Bowl. You'd think it sent them to the Big Ten championship, but they had the axe parading all over the state. You could rent the axe. Oh, it pissed me off. So you could rent the axe, bro.
I remember that. I remember it
I
being
was like what?
A whole charade.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, bro. Come on. I get like taking it to the Vikings game, taking it to the Timberwolves game. Like Fleck had just gotten there like for a couple years.
Yeah, flaunted a little bit.
Right, flaunted a little bit. You ended the streak. You're early in your coaching time here at Minnesota or whatever. Like, that's cool. But like renting it out, bro, is wild. I was like, that's just to me, it was disrespectful.
Yeah.
To every Badger and Gopher that had ever played in the game before. That was just crossing the line to me. So like, yeah, they were talking trash. He was like, yeah, you can do what you want when you win, because I had made it be known that I was like, this is disrespectful. Like, I don't like that. He like, you can do what you want when you win. This is after they lost to Iowa and they beat somebody right before Axe Week, and we were playing Purdue, and he tells them boiler up, because if we would have lost, then it would have automatically sent them to the Big Ten championship. Just a weak mindset, man. That's a sheep mindset to root for somebody else. I want the best of the best at the moment.
Chris, an ultimate motivator.
Yeah. Man, he is. I'm just getting mad again, man. You're making me think about it again. I don't like Fleck.
Well, and I'll put it this way, too. There's I don't know how the new locker rooms are. Are there, for each trophy, is there like a designated spot for it? So same thing in the old locker room. You have like these displays that are supposed to hold the trophy. When the trophy's not there, you feel a void. There's a very real void. And there's no bigger void than the axe, right? Like if you don't have the Freedom Trophy or the Heartland Trophy, like the Heartland Trophy kind of stinks, but the axe, I mean, that is such a unique, marquee trophy. And when it's not, it was in the trophy case when I was playing there, but like I know the feeling of a voided trophy case, and that is a sickening feeling.
Yeah,
and
sickening feeling.
It should motivate these men today.
Yeah, we'll see if it does. ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay pregame. We got you right till kickoff, a 2:30 kickoff in Minnesota today. We're here at the Everlight Solar Studios. Hunter Vaughn helping us out behind the glass. A lot of history in this rivalry. 62, 62, and 8. That is the win-loss and tie record between the two teams. 3-3 in the last 6 years. Lost the last 2. Wow. Minnesota's got Wisconsin's number at the moment. But, it's the last game of the year. There's a little bit of a reflection period that's going to happen today on today's show of what the season has been, what the Badgers have grown off of, what we've noticed about the new head coaching administration, I should say. We'll get into that and more next. What's one word that would describe this season so far? I want to get these guys' thoughts on that next. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
Hey, Wisconsin College GameDay fans, it's Jen Latta here for Celsius Essential Energy Drink. Have you tried Celsius Energy Drink yet? With 7 essential vitamins, it's the clean energy drink that you need to stay active and energized all day long. There are so many different flavors to choose from, including my favorite, the Peach Vibe. There's the new Cosmic Vibe, and so many more. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks are perfect for the pregame tailgate or that fourth quarter comeback. Find Celsius at a retailer near you or visit Celsius.com to learn more. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. Live fit.
It's that time of year where we give thanks to everything we are thankful for. And here at Metro Ford of Madison, we are thankful for you, our wonderful community and customers. To honor that, Metro Ford of Madison is giving you great deals this November. Get into a rugged 2023 Ford F-150 for 3.9% APR for 66 months to qualify credit, $18 per 1,000 borrowed. Great deals are also available on the 2023 Mach-E and Ford Broncos. Search inventory at metrofordofmadison.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we commit to full transparency in everything we do. Because we're a fiduciary, we strive for the highest industry standards and on our ethical duty to put your best interests first. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape, creating a personalized wealth management experience. Care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab Game Day Eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
Win a Coors Light full court experience with a trip to Minneapolis this March. Sign up now at participating locations around Madison to win an all-inclusive trip to the Men's College Basketball Conference Tournament. Don't miss your shot. Enjoy Blue Mountains and the best men's hoops in the Midwest. One lucky winner will be announced on Rutledge and Hamilton on January 8th. Visit Scotty Bar, Lucky's, Jordan Big Ten Pub, Nitty Gritty, Wando's, and Pooley's to scan the QR code and enter today. Must be 21 or older to enter. No purchase necessary.
Watch every ESPN Madison show live every day. Subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for live video of every show and exclusive content. Just search ESPN Madison.
The vibes are rolling here at the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm liking this. This is having some fun here. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. Colin Russo here, joined by former Badgers Brad Nortman and Chris Orr, previewing Wisconsin at Minnesota for the Axe game, looking to reclaim that Axe trophy that was lost 2 years ago. That's a 2:30 kickoff on the road. We got you covered right till kickoff. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. Badgers last week came out as winners over Nebraska, but you know where winners go. Winners go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, the casino with the highest payouts in the area. They're open right now and stay open until 2 a.m. on Monday. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. Well, the Badgers right now, 6-5, going into their 12th game of the regular season. I want to ask you two before I give my answer. Brad, we'll start with you. If there's one word through 11 games, you know, we're not completely through the regular season, but nonetheless, one word that could describe this season to this point, what would you describe this 2023 Badger football season as?
Deflating.
Deflating.
It was this whole, from the moment Coach Fickle was hired until the moment they stepped foot on the field against Buffalo, was it? Was it all the way back then, Buffalo?
You were deflated in the Buffalo game?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's
when it was 14-7 at halftime or something like, or 14-10.
Yeah,
14-10. It was 14-10.
But until then, I like have this imagery of like blowing up a balloon, or like, or even more. This might be a little bit more cruel, but like, you know how like you can like pump up like muscles, like fake muscles or whatever. Like, that's what it felt like. I was like, we are growing into this behemoth, right? And it was just like this air that was breathed into the program.
I'm ready to see it.
Which you need to do, right? Like, I don't think definitely will not criticize this coaching staff for doing that.
No.
Part of recruiting and branding is that. And they killed it. They did a great job. I mean, amazing job to get it all going. But you got to see it translate onto the field. And man, I know I was inflated. I was like busting at the seams with those inflated muscles and that like balloon in my head. And since then, it has been like you had your fingers on like the place you blow the air in or whatever, and it's just been like letting out air. It's just been like deflating. Yeah. That's right. Thank you, Adam Sandler. It's just been like demoralizing, deflating. All of that energy, all of that hype, all of that building has just been slowly seeping out. And I think there are certain moments where you look at it and you're like, okay, the air is now gone. And that was Indiana Northwestern, where it's like, okay, you still have a balloon, but man, there's no air left in it. Like you got to do some breathing into it now. And this all season has been a slow deflation of expectations, of hope, of optimism, and even just the on-field product. So
I think that Indiana loss was like when the balloon popped.
I mean, it might have been.
That was bad.
So it's been deflating to me, and this program has its work cut out for us over the next couple seasons to get to what they promised this program would be. They're a long way away.
Chris Orr, I shift to you. One word to describe this Badger season in 2023. What would that word be for you?
Man, deflating. I don't know if anything tops that. This might sound a little harsh, but regressive. I think I think like you were saying, Brad, like the branding, the pumping up of our program, like you need to do that. That's important for recruiting. It's attraction, especially in the new NIL era. Yes, all of that is true, but I think that hurt us because of the product we put on the field. Like if we came in with like we got our work cut out for us here, but I trust these guys, like we're going to be a reputable football team. Just if expectations were tempered a little bit, I think even the outlook on this season is a little different. I think that then we're all leaning even more and more towards like, oh man, like a lot of this is just, you got to give them time to clean out everything from our previous staff, our old ways. Like you got to give them time to clean it out. But I think that the preseason hype is what hurt that conversation. It's just a letdown, man. I think the teams that we've dropped to, it's not only that we dropped to them, but the way we dropped to them. Like we essentially got dominated. Like we got dominated by Indiana and Northwestern. Bottom tier Big Ten teams, which hurts. I think looking at the West, I think any and everybody looking at the West this year and looking at Iowa, like Iowa is not a amazing team. I think that was like the season that I kind of expected us to have. Like maybe
Iowa is sitting at 10-2 now, and it should be 11-1. That Minnesota game when that punt return,
it should be 11-1
with that false fair catch signal. That's an 11-win team. That is a top 10 ranked team with Deacon Hill, who has 35 yards passing a game on 40% completion.
For sure.
To say that's what the Wisconsin season should have looked like, I just think in terms of product, that's them taking advantage of a horrible Big Ten West year. In terms of that, you got to give Kirk Ferentz a ton of credit because they knew exactly what they needed to do. Every game was ugly. Every game was close, but nobody wins a close game like Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
And it was perfect.
And in a crucial year for the Big Ten. I think the exposure they're going to get in the Big Ten championship is something that
they need for next year and the year after.
But I think it would have helped us tremendously. If you think about it, we got all this brand in preseason. Okay, and then even if we disappear because we're playing ugly football, but somehow we keep winning. You're in the Big Ten championship now. You're able to display this new air raid. Hopefully it would have been operating better than it has been, but you're able to just at least show recruits like, hey, we need you here. We need top receivers here because this is where we're moving to. We're no longer in that traditional affirmation that isn't wanting you to come here. But yeah, I just thought that this would have been a great year for us to propel us forward, but it's disappointing.
On your point of it's not just the record, it's who you lose to and how you lost to them that makes a big difference, right? Because I know this season's been compared to my freshman year. We went 7-5, and then we lost the bowl game 7-6, and that was like a low moment over the last 20 years. It was a low season for this program, and but we lost to Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, a good Iowa team, Michigan State when they were good. Those were our and then Florida State in the bowl game. So you looked at it and said, okay, well that's the top of the Big Ten. we beat the worst of the Big Ten. So
it's not like it's a good loss, but it's a better loss than what you've seen.
Yeah, but we're losing to bad football teams. So I think that's the one thing that makes this season extra painful.
Washington State stinks.
Are they bowl eligible?
They're
not even going to a bowl game.
They got 4 wins.
They lost. They lost 7 in a row.
They have 4 wins.
That team stinks.
So
People were screaming at us and telling us.
Well, because they had a good start to the year. They did. That's number one. And then they just fell off the face of the earth. They had a Colorado fall off.
Yeah, because if you have this, if you go, let's say the Badgers win today, 7-5. If you go 7-5 next year, but you lose to Michigan, Oregon, Bama, who else? Penn State.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
USC.
Yeah.
But you win all the rest of the games. You're like, well, I actually feel okay about that. I don't feel good.
Okay.
I don't feel good, but I feel okay.
You're probably in the top 25.
Losing games.
You're probably in the top 25.
Losing to teams that are more talented or less talented than your team, and losing to programs that are just as tumultuous as the Badger program. That is a reflection of something that's a little more bigger than just being outclassed in talent or scheming.
100%.
It's a reflection of something that's probably a little bigger and a problem with the program, and that's what freaks you out about this year.
Yeah, and it's okay to be incredibly humbled as a program, right? I mean, it's just a matter of what you do with it from this point. Because, look, every program's humbling season looks different. Like a Bama humbling program is like 10 wins and Sugar Bowl, But for
there's levels to this.
In
college football.
But this is a humbling year for the Wisconsin program, and you could take this and you could propel it in 3 years to be a college football playoff team. I could totally see that happening
for sure.
But that's a big. It's not easy. You never want this to happen, but oftentimes it can be the best thing for you.
I think that was so spot on because I'm just thinking about it, like, for so long we had been marching and we had always been in this underdog role. But, like when you were here, you won 3 Big Ten championships. We're playing in these Rose Bowls. We're in the Big Ten championship year in, year out. So from the outside looking in, it could look like, man, like, all you need is this. Like, we just need this little push. I think the humbly came from, like we were saying, like, it's not as easy as it looks, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you can winning 10 games, even for what Iowa's done this year. Like, yeah, we're all saying the West is horrible. Everybody feels that way across the country, but it's still not easy to do. Like, as we're witnessing right now, it's still not an easy thing to do. Like, everybody's dealing with adversity. Them themselves, their OC gets fired and still has to coach throughout the rest of the season.
That's something that keeps coming up. It's like, give the team time because, new coaching staff and this and that. I don't think there's ever been a year in the Big Ten that has been surrounded by more controversy than this year.
Yes.
And that's not just Wisconsin.
Yes.
Wisconsin got off scot-free in terms of controversy. Sure, the Chris firing, that got a bad PR look in here and there, getting rid of him mid-year. But in terms of what some of these other programs have dealt with,
man,
there's a level of excuses that sort of runs out when you realize Michigan, they're undefeated. They haven't had Harbaugh for 6 games, and they're a scandal that has lasted 3 years is uncovering as we speak.
Michigan State. Just what, 2 years ago, I had a running back up for the Heisman.
Yeah.
We thought this was amazing use of the portal.
And then Mel Tucker has the misconduct, and he's out. Northwestern has the hate. I don't know what I could say on this. That's all. I'll leave that at misconduct.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Northwestern.
Oh my goodness. That's the biggest one to me. Quite honestly,
they've had all things considered, a great year.
Great year.
That's part of the reason why they brought back Braun. But that was a major scandal that was program-wide, had a lot to do with the players and the coaches. So it wasn't just like a coaching thing where, that's just one guy. It's the whole program. It's the lifeblood of the entire thing. And they have able to band together. That's a coaching thing. That's getting the players together under the same roof and have a similar goal in mind and do whatever you can to make that happen.
Yeah, Northwestern, it's unbelievable, right? Like, that program was Fitz. Like, he was the face of it. He was the lifeblood of it. You could hardly name 3 players that played for Northwestern, but Pat Fitzgerald. So losing him was a big deal. All the things they went through, but honestly, high academic standards, terrible game day environment. But I think everyone, all the players and coaches that stayed there, It's like us versus the world.
Yep.
We're staying together on this. That's the one thing Wisconsin hasn't done. They have not been together.
Yep.
Yeah. And to continue on with the Big Ten, it's Purdue, new head coach. Illinois lost every player on that great offense and defense they had last year. Minnesota, up and down. Fleck had a couple things in the offseason about him, but nonetheless, they've had a rough year. Iowa, Brian Ferentz was the worst offensive coordinator in the history of football this year. You know, they averaged, I think it was under 250 yards. They said it in the broadcast yesterday during the Nebraska game. Iowa they have the highest win total for any team that averaged 250 yards of total yardage per an offense. In like the one previous to that was 4 wins. And they had 10. They had 10. It was UCF in like 2004. And Iowa, it was before the game finished, but Iowa finished with like 256 yards. So I assume they kept in that. 10 wins.
Chris, I got to know. I know this isn't like the topic of today's conversation, but if your offense is that bad and your defense is that good, are you freaking pissed at your offense? Or are you like, you know what?
You don't know
badge
anything
of honor.
Yeah,
they don't know anything else.
It's a badge of honor. I think initially you're pissed. I think like they probably should have been. They had Cade McNamara. Yeah,
they're the stars.
Exactly. They had Cade McNamara. Like everybody thought they were gonna. They looked explosive week 1. It was like, oh,
they always
different. Yeah. Everybody gets hurt. It all goes. It all goes down from there. On the defense, though, it's like, yeah, we are the stars. Like, your best defensive players, your punt returner, too. Like,
your punter.
You take that.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, your punter, like, you take that as a badge of honor. Yeah, coach, defer. We know we're deferring every game.
I love that. You know, that's a good way to put Iowa. Like, there's a different level of superstar on who is that with that team. As we continue the conversation, it's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. Minnesota hosting Wisconsin, 2:30 kickoff. The Axe game. Badgers looking to reclaim the Axe trophy. Coming off 2 straight losses against Minnesota. We'll see what happens today. 62, 62, and 8 is the total win-loss between the programs in their total history, not just the trophy season. But it's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, presented in part by Liberty Station. Hey, our friends at Liberty Station, American Tavern and Smokehouse, are running a shuttle program during home games this football season. For just $15, you can catch a ride to and from the big game and enjoy a beer along the way. Continue your fun at Liberty Station and enjoy happy hour, daily discounts on both food and drinks. Liberty Station, located off the Beltline on Rimrock Road. We'll do some good call, bad call with Hunter Vaughn. Coming up next, it's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
Braylon Allen here for Iron Jock Performance Gear and Apparel. You know why Iron Jock says it's what's inside? It's the technology, the 4-way stretch, fit, and feel. The science that is built into the fabric. This isn't any ordinary clothing that you wear 5 times and the fabric breaks down. Iron Jock is tested and proven to kill 99.9% of the bacteria for the lifetime of the gear. It'll feel as new after 75 washes as it did the day you got it. Get yours at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Jim Rutledge here to talk to you about North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue joint of Rutledge and Hamilton and the official barbecue joint of the Rutledge household. We love going to all 3 of their locations, whether it's in DeForest, Madison, or in Verona. We get the same great service and food every time we go, no matter the location. Even better, when we have parties, cookouts, or anything in between, I don't have to spend all my time over the grill. Instead, I give a call to the folks at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. So hurry in to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue joint of Rutledge and Hamilton and the official barbecue joint of the Rutledge household.
Working at a company that truly cares and invests in their employees should never be taken for granted. Work, learn, and earn at the Weld School at Stoughton Trailers. The program includes 1 week of paid training starting at $18 per hour and features small class sizes designed for individual attention. No prior experience is needed because teaching their employees is all part of the Stoughton Trailers way. Graduate into a full-time position in Stoughton or Evansville. Apply today at stojobs.com. That's stojobs.com.
Take your shot at $20,000. Pink Lemonade meets exceptionally smooth vodka. Pink Whitney, what a legend. This fall, for a limited time at participating locations around Madison, scan the QR code at point of purchase to take your shot at $20,000 instantly. That's right, a chance to win $20,000 instantly, courtesy of Pink Whitney. Watch for the QR code at participating locations, including Red Rock Saloon, City Bar, State Street Brats, and Whiskey Jacks. Must be 21 or older to enter, no purchase necessary.
Everywhere you look, from groceries to utilities to gas, prices keep going up. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin can dramatically help lower your energy costs year-round by replacing drafty windows and doors in as little as 6 weeks. And now you can save even more by taking advantage of no interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th. Bring the love of Wisconsin's outdoors in through the beauty and quality craftsmanship of Pella Windows and Doors. Whether you're updating or upgrading the look and comfort of your home, Pella has extensive lines of customizable options to meet your needs and your budget. Replacing drafty windows and doors can dramatically lower your energy costs. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin offers some of the most energy-efficient windows in the industry. 0% interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 11/30/2023.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, this is Eric Game of The Athletic. You're listening to Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
From LA to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
What is up, Wisconsin? I'm Hunter Vaughn. We had 2 games go final in the Big Ten on Friday. First up in Lincoln, Nebraska, the Hawkeyes and the Cornhuskers. They combined for 14 total punts in the game as the Hawkeyes won 13-10. Iowa now moves on to the Big Ten championship game where they'll take on the winner of Michigan and Ohio State. The other game that went final played in Detroit at Ford Field, and it was all Penn State. Number 11 Nittany Lions winning 42-0 over Michigan State and the Spartans. 2 games currently going on in the Big Ten. Be a better basketball game, but it's a close one in the third quarter. Indiana at Purdue. Purdue's up 15-14 in that one with 13-14 to go in the third quarter. And at halftime, the game. Number 2 Ohio State at number 3 Michigan. Michigan leads at the half 14-10. The winner takes on Iowa in the Big Ten championship game. And, of course, your Badgers will play Minnesota at 2:30. Maryland's at Rutgers. And then Northwestern is at Illinois to round out the rest of the Big Ten.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
Continuing on here at the Everlight Solar Studios, it's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light. Colin Russo here, joined by former Badgers Rat Nortman and Chris Orr. ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. Having a blast here. Hunter Vaughn helping us out behind the glass. Wisconsin, Minnesota, coming up at 2:30. It's rivalry week in college football. I love rivalry week. We got the game going on right now. Michigan, Ohio State, 14-10 at halftime in that one. But nonetheless, we worry about Minnesota on the road. ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. You missed any of the show today, you can catch it on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, but especially Wisconsin On Demand, because ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay and Wisconsin On Demand is brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, helping you achieve your financial goals with confidence. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, and clarity. It is not just a tagline. It is a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. Hunter Vaughn helping us out. Let's get into some good call, bad call.
Is it a good call?
Because I love it.
Or a bad call?
You're the dumbest person alive.
Good Call, Bad Call on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, always a good call on game day.
All right, gentlemen. One last good call, bad call for the year.
Last one, is it?
Yeah, well, I mean,
bowl
unless
game?
If we do a bowl game, it kind of depends on what
it depends when it is. Okay.
Bowl game.
I know they're bowl eligible, I know, but I don't know if we're going to do a show if they're in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl again and they kick off at 9 o'clock Central.
People don't want the December 26th.
Yeah, probably not.
Come on,
so,
Jesse.
Starting off, since it is rivalry week, good call, bad call. Anyone that would commit to the University of Minnesota loses all credibility as a sports analyst.
So we haven't brought this up yet. First of all, clean sweep for Chris and I on good call. Brad, do you want to explain this one for the audience?
I'd be happy to.
This is where you got to own it. Wear it.
Okay, yeah, I did commit to the University of Minnesota. I did it, all right, I did it. And that's a bad call because, listen, everybody, listen. I didn't know what I was doing. If we're going to be completely honest.
You drank the Minnesota Kool-Aid. Yeah.
I did. Well, this was a guy named Coach Brewster, who was the coach there. Wasn't even that engaging of a dude. Here's my, I was like thrust into this recruiting world because I had a couple good camps. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually get a scholarship as a punter now. And Wisconsin had already offered a punter. These are just excuses. There's still no excuse for what I did.
Wisconsin had this plan for 15 years. So he's going to have to explain
Wisconsin had already offered a punter. He was the number 1 punter in the country. I was the number 2. So I was like, well, he could just commit there. Like, they haven't offered me anything. Minnesota was the first offer I got. Another rookie mistake. Like, I didn't know you didn't.
Taking the first offer?
Yeah. Sucker. Totally sucker.
You would have, Chris would never do that.
No, never.
No, not first offer. Play the field.
But, I was like, I can play Big Ten football, all this kind of stuff. I'll do it. I don't want them to give it to somebody else.
You're a Wisconsin guy.
And they get. I didn't have a scholarship at that point. The next day, Coach Bielema calls me. I can't say what he said to me on the radio, but it was basically like, no, it wasn't like bad. It was like,
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Blank. What are you doing?
What are you doing,
I was literally about to offer you. You're coming to our camp. Come to a game. You're a Wisconsin kid.
Wow.
And it's actually kind of a shame because I shut down my recruiting at that point because like other teams started rolling in. They're like, we're gonna offer you. And I was just like, listen, I
That's
can't.
A weird feeling.
I'm not going to do this anymore. But the one team I continued to entertain was Wisconsin, obviously, because I love Wisconsin. I was a Wisconsin kid. But I always like wonder like what could have been, what other schools might have popped up, like what other visits I would have taken. It all worked out, obviously. But I know that like our buddy Mertzy lost the ongoing betting challenge that we had all year, and he had to wear Minnesota stuff. My parents are currently cleaning out their house a little bit and kind of giving me all my stuff. I went through a couple photo albums. There was a summer where I'm wearing Minnesota T-shirts. And it was like, no, man.
Somebody to get that.
We're keeping those under lock and key.
We're gonna get your wife to go through it and get it to the station.
I wonder.
Don't do it, Lexi.
I wonder what Tom Oates will say, man, because Brad, a Wisconsin kid, Wisconsin guy, committed to the wrong team, was pressured. Me, a good old Texas boy.
Know how the recruiting cycle works.
When the Motion W came down and saw me, they immediately got my word, brother. Unwavering. Never left.
Chris is more of a red-blooded Wisconsinite than I am.
What else we got?
Since it is rivalry week, my favorite rivalry game will be played next week. Army-Navy. So good call, bad call. Army-Navy is the best rivalry game in college football.
I'm going to go, I'm going to say bad call. Like, I want to say good call because I think that I love the fact that it stands on its own. I think it's one of those bucket list games. Like, I think if you love football. I feel like that'd be
an awesome game.
Yeah, like if you love football, everybody wants to go.
President's there. Yeah. It's like a big American event.
Right. It's a big American event, but I don't see it competing with like
Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Auburn,
Iron Bowl, Texas A&M. I'm thinking about the other rivalries like Mizzou, Kansas, Nebraska.
I would take Army-Navy over Mizzou, Kansas, though.
When they were bro, think about both of them now. Think about if they were able to play this year.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a live game. Yeah. But I don't know. It's like a between.
I'm gonna go with a bad call as well. You know, I would love to get to that Army-Navy game.
Yeah, I need to see one
but, like,
before I die.
In terms of, like, a special football game, I think that Ohio State-Michigan game just got a certain vibe to it because I think in terms of hatred, I mean, I don't know enough about the armed forces and the rivalry between the Army and the Navy, like, within the actual, like, with the cadets and everything like that. But, like, in terms of the hatred, you could feel the game going on, like, right now. I think you could feel that a little more. I would take that or, like, an Alabama-Auburn, and then that would be the level of Army-Navy for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with bad call. I love this game. I love the Army-Navy game, but it's just not relevant in college football.
It's not. There's no national implication.
Yeah, and, like, if I could only choose one rivalry game to watch the rest of my life and I couldn't watch the rest of them, I couldn't choose that one.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
I'd probably choose Alabama, Auburn, or Ohio State, Michigan, or something like that, or Minnesota, Wisconsin.
I can't wait until the country can see Texas A&M again. That is real hate.
A&M just always stinks. That's
just listen to this. So you know that Texas. I'll just give you a little history. Texas's mascot name is Bevo. A&M beat them 13-0 and branded a Longhorn. And then Texas fans came back and they branded Bevo on it to get the 13-0 off of the count. That's how.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's a little rooted.
Yeah, and
Hopefully
it's just that the programs, you know,
I like the hate.
They're rarely, at least in the past 20 years, they're rarely great at the same time.
For sure.
They're rarely great at the same time, and they don't play as much. And and now it's got the Texas-Oklahoma, which is like a decent rivalry, but not a great rivalry nonetheless. That was this week in the final iteration of the football season of Good Call, Bad Call, which is brought to you by Mountain Dew. It is always a good call to drink Mountain Dew. Wisconsin football players Braylon Allen, Tanner Mordecai, Chimray DK, and CJ Williams get game day ready with Pepsi, and so should you. Head over to Pepsi608 on Instagram to stay up to date for ticket giveaways this football season. Jump around and enjoy Pepsi, a proud partner of the Wisconsin Badgers. Well, it should be out now. Who's healthy, who's in, who's out. Actives and inactives coming up next. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light.
The kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
Dash the Dane. That's right, Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company has expanded their delivery offerings with DoorDash. New customers get $5 off your first order of $25 or more. And don't forget, Dash Pass subscribers always receive free delivery. Order delivery today at GreatDanePub.com or on the DoorDash app and get food delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994.
ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay on Wisconsin On Demand is brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, helping you achieve your financial goals with confidence, care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today.
In a world without Mountain Dew, life would be pretty dull. Because when you crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew, you enter a world where the ground rules of life are a little different. So grab yourself a Mountain Dew and get that incomparable blast of neon citrus flavor. Together with Mountain Dew, there's nothing you can't do and almost nothing you won't do to take things to the next level. Hey, the operating rule is pretty simple. If you're not having an outrageously good time, you're not drinking Dew. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Sarah
Tauscher here, encouraging you to enjoy Prairie Athletic Club's Platinum membership. It's everything you want in a membership. The Platinum membership at the PAC includes unlimited CrossFit, Pilates, hot yoga, and bar, along with training zone and boot camp classes. The PAC has everything you need, including a ton of new equipment. No other health club offers you more for your money. Stop by today or visit prairieathletic.com to check out all of their membership specials. That's prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
It's Steinhaffel's biggest Black Friday sale ever, with some of the best prices of the year and hundreds of amazing bonus buys. Start with an extra $100 off your purchase of every $19.99. Then get a $100, $200, or $300 MasterCard rewards card. The more you spend, the bigger the reward. See store for details. Plus, make your purchase easier when you use Steinhaffel's 72-month financing. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhaffel's.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Madison everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Madison. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
For Taylor, Cone goes back, takes a downfield shot. Davis has got it! And Wisconsin stretches the lead in this blizzard.
It's Axe Week here. It's not here, it's in Minnesota, but Axe Week nonetheless. Badgers looking to reclaim the Axe Trophy after losing the last two. Wisconsin, Minnesota, 2:30 kickoff today. 3-3 in their last six. 62, 62, and 8 all time between the Badgers. That's pretty good. That's like Duke UNC numbers, but nonetheless, it's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay live from the Everlight Solar Studios. My name is Colin Russo, joined by former Badgers Brad Nortman and Chris Orr. ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brought to you in part by Celsius. Have you tried Celsius energy drink yet? With 7 essential vitamins, it is the clean energy drink you need to stay active and energized all day long. There are so many different flavors to choose from, including the Arctic Vibe, the Peach Mango, the new Cosmic Vibe, and many more. Celsius is the essential energy drink you need to stay fueled and active each and every game day. Find Celsius at your local retailer or Celsius.com. Stay active and energized all day long with Celsius essential energy drinks. Live fit. When we finally got the information, who's in, who's out, who's healthy, who's not, let's get to some actives and inactives.
Who's in and who's out? Actives and inactives on Wisconsin College GameDay are brought to you by Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin. Get back to being active and doing what you love. Book your appointment today at orthospinecenters.com.
So we got the list. It's not as big as last week, but a notable name that is off the questionable list is Braylon Allen. Looks to be 100%, which is something that's of note because of the last 2 years we've had Braylon Allen, or Braylon Allen's been on the Wisconsin Badgers, he has been battered walking into the Axe game. It looks like you're going to get a full go Braylon Allen today after suffering a lower body injury a few weeks ago. He's definitely hobbled a little bit, had a good game last week, 2 touchdowns, a grind out 23 carries, 66 yards. But no Braylon Allen today. Looks like you're going to see the running attack in as good of a full go as the Badgers have seen in weeks.
And we need that. I can't remember has Braylon ever had what you would call a good game against Minnesota? I don't think
he's
so.
Never been healthy. He's never been healthy.
Third game. I remember each game he was just beaten up.
Yeah, he's never been healthy enough.
I would imagine he has a fire in his belly.
Yeah,
because he can finally feel like I can run the ball how I want to run the ball.
Is it important? Is it Fickles in your professional opinions, guesses? Is it Fickles? Is the highlight of the week? Is the theme of the week for the Badgers? Let's end their season.
Oh yes.
They like that. That's the key to that. Like let's send these guys home. Because their bowl eligibility, is it that big of a deal to the Badgers?
I don't think their bowl eligibility is that big of a deal. I think getting the Axe back is a bigger deal.
That's a bigger deal.
That's a bigger deal. You got this senior class who's stayed over from a coaching change, and at a place like Wisconsin where you don't necessarily expect that in the middle of the season, whatever. It's your first year. Think about what this will do for recruiting. They see that hole in the wall in your locker room. Yeah.
That's the highlight of the.
Oh yeah,
of the week.
For sure.
I would say it's Axe week. It's all about Axe in Minnesota. I think ending someone's bowl eligibility. It's kind of
plus.
like it's like the sprinkles on top. It's nice, but
the reason
let's bury them. Let's get that axe and bury them.
The reason I bring that up is Iowa on October 14th, the Heartland Trophy game, another trophy game, a prominent trophy game for the Wisconsin Badgers. Not as big as the Axe game, of course, but it didn't look like that was the highlight of that game.
No,
it didn't look like they were playing for a trophy. It didn't look like that was the theme of the week. If you're Luke Fickell and that coaching staff, it didn't look like they were playing in a trophy game. That was my takeaway from that. I'm curious to see. It's the end of the year. At least there should be some motivation with that, especially with your seniors, like you said. Yeah. I would think that they're going to go in with a little more juice today, but nonetheless, I didn't see it in the Heartland Trophy game. So
I think it'll be the players.
You cannot,
I think it'll be the players more than anything. Like we're saying with Braylon Allen, like you've been hurt your entire career playing against Minnesota. You're a Wisconsin kid. You know it means something to perform in this game. You've been around the alums enough to know how important this game is. So I think he has a fire under his belly. I think he's been alluding to the fact that, most likely he's going to declare. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody, but you're coming up on your last game.
A light running back draft too.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. You just got basically your senior day. Like this is your time. Like this is your time to put your stamp on the end of your career here as a Wisconsin running back and be in those conversations that he wants to be in.
And as you asked Chris earlier in the show, is this the game that means most to you? However you phrase
like a personal play. Is
as
a
is
football
it the biggest
player,
game?
is this the game that's circled on your schedule?
And it's really not. There are other. If you played Ohio State,
that would be
bigger.
Played
Iowa, I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
It's bigger. There's more implications. You're usually historically more evenly matched. I will say so in general, you're not like, oh, Minnesota week. But when Minnesota week arrives, you feel an extra sense of urgency.
Oh, yes.
At least we did. So during that week, it is as big of a deal as it comes. But like in the grand narrative of the season, there's other games that matter more, that felt more like a rivalry. So these guys should be pretty amped up to play, and they are doing the same thing because we had really good teams. We had objectively better teams in Minnesota my entire career. They always played us close.
Oh yes,
they always played us close.
Yes.
So
I have a question for you. I wonder if Coach Fickell's doing this, but something that me being a Texas kid when I first got here, when it got to Axe Week, like you hear from all of the local guys, the Wisconsin guys, how important it is. You understand the historical implications for the program and stuff. But to me, what stayed with me and struck me, I think it helped that we had like a lot of alums on staff. But besides that, there was a loop of the Axe celebration from as far back as they had footage up until the very last season.
In the facilities and everything?
Yep, and every TV that wherever you would be as a player, like every TV that you could see, it's just a loop of the celebration. And the year after we lost it in 2018, it was a loop of their celebration. Oh, it was just a loop of their celebration. I loved it. It was almost to the point of I just loved it even as a freshman. It was almost to the point of like it's driving you crazy. Like I cannot think about anything else. It's gotten to the point now where I hate these guys. Like I don't even know them and I hate them. Oh man, it's just there's nothing better than rivalry football, especially in college, especially Axe Week.
Would you rather be defending the trophy or going to get it back?
I will say this. You don't ever want to be in the position of getting it back.
But it's more fun in the week.
It is a lot more fun. I wish that they kept it like my freshman year when we played Iowa.
Had it on the sideline, right?
We lost to Heartland, and they came through your sideline. Like it used to be like that. They come through your sideline.
I remember those days.
Grab it
and grab your trophy, and take it back to their locker room. That was my first experience into the trophy game, and from that moment, I was like, I will never have this feeling again, bro, because it's almost like being robbed, and you're just behind like this plastic screen.
Yeah.
You're just watching yourself.
Are you in
robbed.
the same boat? Would you rather retain it or go get it back?
I would never want to be in a position where I have to go get
it.
But if they're that
probably a good feeling in the locker room.
That 45 seconds of running over there as a team and taking it from their sideline, that's got to be an incredible feeling. But because we did do that a couple times with Iowa, right? So that was there was no Nebraska trophy game. So we did that a couple times because we went back and forth.
And Minnesota was straight wins.
Minnesota was straight wins. But Iowa, we did go get it. And they came and got it from us. And it adds an extra spice, an extra layer of spice to the rivalry. So we did do that. And that matters. In Iowa, we were just always so evenly matched. But to do that against Minnesota, there's just a little bit extra something.
Oh yeah,
Minnesota.
man, we were rowing the boat up there.
Yeah, when we had that loop on as well of previous celebrations, it reflects value to the rivalry, right? It means something, and then you just have more appreciation for exactly what this rivalry means.
Shifting on, the couple more questionables on the list: Will Pauling and Bryson Green, two starting receivers for the Wisconsin Badgers. Will Pauling went down with what looked to be an ankle injury, a sprain or something like that last week. Bryson Green also questionable for today's game. Again, for a passing offense that has a lot of options, quote unquote, Pauling has been far and away the most consistent option in terms of who they go to on third down and everything like that. So we'll see what happens with the passing game, nonetheless, if those guys can go or if they can't, because the Badgers got Braylon Allen healthy, but it's going to take a little bit of both, I think, to take down Minnesota today because they'll play hard. That was this week's iterations of actives and inactives on ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brought to you by the Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin. Their physicians have been treating patients in the Madison area for over 2 decades. They specialize in a wide range of areas, including sports medicine, joint replacement, spine, and more. Convenient and accessible with appointments available within 24 hours. Get back to being active and doing what you love. Visit orthospinecenters.com. We shift into the second hour. Rivalry week, Axe game. A lot of energy. We continue the conversation. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. You heard me talk about them for years. I have my big blue truck from Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. It is a Silverado. If you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Chevy Silverado or Colorado, I recommend Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Go see my guy Dan out there. And you're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay on Wisconsin On Demand is brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, helping you achieve your financial goals with confidence, care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today.
Hey, Wisconsin College GameDay fans, it's Jen Latta here for Celsius Essential Energy Drink. Have you tried Celsius Energy Drink yet? With 7 essential vitamins, it's the clean energy drink that you need to stay active and energized all day long. There are so many different flavors to choose from, including my favorite, the Peach Vibe. There's the new Cosmic Vibe, and so many more. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks are perfect for the pregame tailgate or that fourth quarter comeback. Find Celsius at a retailer near you or visit Celsius.com to learn more. Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. Live fit!
Have you met your deductible? Are you stuck waiting in line to see an orthopedic physician? The team at Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin can see you tomorrow. Their board-certified and fellowship-trained orthopedic and spine physicians have been treating patients in the Madison area for over 3 decades. They specialize in a wide range of areas, including sports medicine, joint replacement, spine, hand surgery, and more. Convenient and accessible, their team is dedicated to getting you back to being active and doing what you love. Visit orthospinecenters.com. That's orthospinecenters.com.
It's that time of year where we give thanks to everything we are thankful for. And here at Metro Ford of Madison, we are thankful for you, our wonderful community and customers. To honor that, Metro Ford of Madison is giving you great deals this November. Get into a rugged 2023 Ford F-150 for 3.9% APR for 66 months to qualified credit, $18 per 1,000 borrowed. Great deals are also available on the 2023 Mach-E and Ford Broncos. Search inventory at metrofordofmadison.com.
Hey, it's Stacy Bruner from Bruner Realty. People have been telling me that buying a home is nothing to joke about, so instead of telling you another real estate joke, I'm going to have somebody else do it.
Jesse Nelson here. Why did the real estate agent buy a skateboard? So he could flip it.
Come on, Jesse, this is no laughing matter.
Well, when it's time to get serious about buying or selling, that's when people should do what we did and work with you.
Contact us at BrunerRealtyInc.com. Bruner Realty, homes to appreciate.
Big trailers and big opportunity. Since 1962, Stoughton Trailers has been a family-owned and operated business. With competitive wages and excellent benefits, plus growth and advancement opportunities, Stoughton Trailers is an exciting place to grow your career. Join the collaboration, innovation, and dynamic team atmosphere at Stoughton Trailers, with positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. Go to stojobs.com to apply today. Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Grab a red shirt, flash your W's. It's Game Day, Wisconsin.
David Gilreath from the 3. 25, 30, 35, explodes midfield. A chance to return the opening kickoff for 6. He'll take it to the house. It's blocked unbelievably. Wisconsin with a chance to pounce. Touchdown Badgers. Unbelievable. Simply shocking. Steinfeld. Touchdown. Taylor slips through an opening, and Taylor into the secondary. Jonathan Taylor. Can he take it the distance? He can. Touchdown Badgers.
Live from the best college football town in the world, this is ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
Second hour of ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay rolling on. My name is Colin Russo, joined by former Badgers Brad Nortman and Chris Orr, previewing the Axe game. Wisconsin on the road this year in Minneapolis, taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers, sitting at 5-6. The Badgers sitting at 6-5 after a win last week, 24-17 against Nebraska. Minnesota coming off a tough loss to Ohio State that was 37-3. Minnesota searching for a bowl game. Wisconsin already secured their bowl eligibility last week against Nebraska. Nonetheless, both teams with a little something to play for. Badgers trying to retain that Axe trophy. Minnesota playing for postseason competition. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay presented by Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, choose the beer. It's as cold as the Rockies. Cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged. For a peak refreshment with Mountains Blue, you know what to do, and that's crush a Coors Light. 2023 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. So, fellas, today's game, it's a little different because, we don't really know what this Badger team will give you week in and week out. We don't know where their focal point will be week in and week out. And we don't know what team or what piece of the team will show up week in and week out. Could be the defense, could be the offense, yada, yada, yada. For today's game, on the road, for a team that is playing for postseason opportunity, I should say, what is the key to the game for you? Brad, I'll start with you. Key to the game to beat Minnesota today on the road, what would you say that is?
Well, I've got 2. I got
Go for it. Yeah.
One schematic and one overall. So the schematic one is establish the running game, right? I think if you can get a healthy Braylon Allen running the football, that's just going to open up the passing game. You're going to keep your defense on the sideline. You control the pace and the tempo of the game. I feel like we've never in recent memory been able to establish the run against this team, and it causes us problems. I know it's been completely different offensive philosophies and things like that, but I think establishing the run is still your friend for Wisconsin versus Minnesota. And here's the other one, which I think is the bigger one to me. You need to weather the emotional wave that's coming by being the more physical team.
Their emotional wave, you say?
Their emotional wave.
Yes.
Because PJ Fleck's going to get them going. Minnesota fans and the Minnesota team hates Wisconsin more than Wisconsin hates Minnesota.
Really?
I feel
yes.
like.
I agree.
I think.
Well, I'm getting the vibe from you two. You guys, the eyes are set in other places as well. Minnesota kind of just has Wisconsin dialed in.
Yeah.
Iowa, Ohio State. There's a little bit more of more rivals in a sense, or more teams that you have circled on your game. That's a good point. I think about that.
It's almost kind of funny. So I think that emotional wave is coming. This Badger team has not been good at starting fast all year. This is not the time to start slow either.
Yes.
You need to start fast, weather that emotional wave, and you do that by being the more physical team. And you can do that. You can be more physical even with the spread and whatnot.
Yes.
Your receivers can be physical.
Yeah.
Like you can be physical at the point of attack. Like you don't have to sacrifice physicality for that. It actually is funny, right? And this is how I know that Minnesota people hate Minnesota fans and players hate Wisconsin.
Well, you've been a part of the community.
Okay, and actually, Colin Russo, dang you, Colin Russo. I was actually gonna say that because when as a Wisconsin kid, I committed to Minnesota, right? And like I actually didn't hate Minnesota. My sister went to Minnesota. Like I actually was like, this is a Big Ten team. I get their arrival, but like it's solid, right? Solid school program, whatever.
For sure.
And like people in Wisconsin were like, but don't you want to go to Wisconsin? No one was like, screw Minnesota. Like nobody who said that. Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, like, don't you want to go to Wisconsin and all that kind of stuff? And I was like, yeah. When I decommitted from Minnesota, oh my gosh,
they hated you.
They called me a traitor. I'm from Wisconsin. Like it was crazy.
Wow,
it was crazy. Like the social media pushback. Whenever I played at Minnesota, they'd be like, "Nortman's a traitor." I'm like, "Bro, that was 4 years ago. I'm a senior playing there." Yeah. So like they remembered that I committed there and went to Wisconsin. I'm a Wisconsin kid.
That's hilarious.
So that you play there. There is a certain level of excitement and urgency that's going to be in the building.
Chris Orr, your key to the game today.
I'm so glad you brought up weathering the emotional storm by being the more physical team, because based off playing PJ Fleck in his 2 best years at that horrible institution, north of the glorious University of Wisconsin-Madison campus in Minnesota Gophers. I will say this, that you're going to beat this team by literally going up there and bullying them. Like, you have to go beat a bully. They're going to come out with a lot of energy. Like, when we last played up there, the winner went to the Big Ten championship, and it was the first time I think College GameDay was on their campus, so the energy was high. He does a good job of fostering that energy for their team.
He does.
I think we started a game with a 3-and-out, and then on defense, they scored. They scored a post route to Rashad Bateman on one of our freshman corners. And then after that, it was just a slaughter, complete slaughter of those Gophers, boy. I tell you one thing. They don't want to hit. He wants them to be a physical team, but they're one of those teams that I like to call front-running physical teams. Like, if things are going well, they'll keep hitting.
If they see it. If they see the end of the tunnel.
If they can see it, they'll keep hammering you, keep hitting you, versus like when you play Wisconsin, when you play like Iowa, that's pretty much it. If I'm being completely honest, in the Big Ten, who are just like, bro, you're gonna get hit all game.
4 quarters of it.
You're gonna get hit all game. No matter what, you're gonna get hit all game. Even if you're blowing them out, they're gonna hit you, bro, all game, no matter what. Minnesota, on the other hand, it's like
they could roll over and die.
Yeah, they can roll over and die, bro. Like, because they pride themselves really on running the ball, and that's my other key to the game. Is stopping the run. They've won a few games this year when they fed their running backs. They like to have a staple of backs, and I want to say they gave one of their freshman backs the ball over 40 times for over 200 yards in the game. So we had to stop the run and establish our run game some. Like, lean on Braylon again like we did last week. Be smart in those situations. Just try to get it third and manageable, and, hey, give him the ball again. Let him push those piles. Then you get Minnesota thinking, let's pile in this box, and now we're in a scheme at least that's more favorable for us to get away from the run and hurt you over the top. So,
well, you're thinking about, you were a year removed. Well, Brad, it was you and I at Monks in Sun Prairie watching that Axe game last year with Ethan Kaliak-Manis coming in as a freshman. Morgan was not healthy. And Kaliak-Manis had, I believe, 325 yards passing. And it seemed like Wisconsin did not play with any of that emotional energy that you were just remarking, that PJ Fleck is so good at fostering, to his credit, at getting that out of his team, making that game seem like it's their Super Bowl. You both brought up waver the emotional wave and play physical from the start of the game. That makes me nervous. And
exactly.
Why does that make me nervous? Because what would we ultimately categorize a big negative of this Wisconsin Badger team in 2023?
Start slow.
Starting slow and physicality. They got punked by Indiana, Northwestern, and nonetheless they responded very well, so you saw a positive, but those first 12 minutes of that Nebraska game, absolutely, they were getting pummeled. My point is that something will need to change drastically in order to see that energy, that physicality switch from when you see it from the first whistle. You're on the road. It's going to be a hostile environment. And Wisconsin is not as into the Wisconsin Badger football team as much as I think the Minnesota Golden Gophers, like, fans for that matter. I think that the culture surrounding each team, I think they're more into the Minnesota than Wisconsin's into Wisconsin right now. Because Wisconsin's having such a down year, I think Minnesota's just trying to get that bowl eligibility. There's a dial in which Minnesota's playing with a little more fire because I feel like they got a little more to play for right now.
Oh yeah, they're gonna pull everything out today.
That makes you nervous. You got to start out fast, and I don't know if we're gonna see that today.
That's part of it. Like I think that's part of the emotional storm too. Is like you give up a fake punt on a crucial 4th down. Like, how are you going to respond to that?
Yeah.
Is our defense, are you going to go out there and stop them for 3 plays and force them to put their punt team back out there? Or what are you going to do? They block one of our punts. They send everybody. They don't put a returner back and send everybody and block our punt. How do you respond then? Or, like, that's the emotional stuff that's going to come into this game.
And they got the home environment, too.
They got the home environment, so they're going to pull that out. They're trying to get to a bowl game. They're going to do a surprise onside, a fake punt, and shame on these players, shame on the coaching staff if you're not ready for that.
Well, there's a level. It's also PJ Fleck's Super Bowl in a sense.
Oh yeah.
This is his game. This is what keeps him in Minnesota is winning that game.
He's been able to do what few Minnesota coaches have done in the past several decades is be able to be competitive and even winning in this rivalry. And I think that's the thing that makes this Minnesota team in this situation a little scary. I still think Wisconsin's going to win, but there's no doubt that the fans, the program, the players, and the coaches, they're going to come ready and they're unified.
Yes.
Right? Like, the coaching staff and PJ Fleck believes in his guys. He is a very, optimistic dude. Like, he's annoying.
Yeah.
But, there's no doubt that, he believes in his players and he breathes, positivity into them. And then these players, they're all his guys. They chose Minnesota, so there's
no culture
unified.
shock of any regard in that locker room.
And this Badger team is not unified. There's no way they're unified.
Unification is an issue. Minnesota's going to come out ready to play. That I could guarantee you. I'd be very surprised if Minnesota came out with a lack of energy. Nonetheless, we continue the conversation. We have a special edition of Two Truths and a Lie coming up next. Hunter Vaughn, behind the glass here at the Everlight Solar Studios, is going to be the victim of Adam. No Adam today. Chris, Brad, and I's beautiful trivia that we got on the Minnesota Golden Gopher football program. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, presented in part by Iron Jock. Iron Jock believes it's what's on the inside that matters. Iron Jock is the advanced performance gear and apparel that is designed from the inside out. Uses state-of-the-art technology, guaranteed to provide odor-fighting protection for as long as you own it. Go to ironjock.com to start shopping today. Two Truths and a Lie coming up next. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay on Wisconsin On Demand is brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, helping you achieve your financial goals with confidence, care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today.
It's Steinhaffel's biggest Black Friday sale ever, with some of the best prices of the year and hundreds of amazing bonus buys. Start with an extra $100 off your purchase of every $19.99. Then get a $100, $200, or $300 MasterCard rewards card. The more you spend, the bigger the reward. See store for details. Plus, make your purchase easier when you use Steinhaffel's 72-month financing. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhaffel's.
Join the Prairie Athletic Club this winter and save on your membership for the rest of the year. Hi, this is Sarah Tauscher. Get out of the cold and into the pack with a ton of new equipment. And now, Prairie Athletic Club is offering 3-month winter memberships. This is their best membership special for the remainder of the year. Stop by Prairie Athletic Club today or visit prairieathletic.com to check out all of their membership specials. That's prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
Get your game on at the Island Resort and Casino with first-round picks of your favorite slots and table games. Bring friends and watch your favorite team compete on big screens. Grab Game Day Eats in T. McSee's Sports Bar or celebrate your team's victory in Horizon's Steakhouse. To book your game time at the Island Resort and Casino, call 800-682-6040 today.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Take your shot at $20,000. Pink Lemonade meets exceptionally smooth vodka. Pink Whitney, what a legend. This fall, for a limited time at participating locations around Madison, scan the QR code at point of purchase to take your shot at $20,000 instantly. That's right, a chance to win $20,000 instantly, courtesy of Pink Whitney. Watch for the QR code at participating locations, including Red Rock Saloon, City Bar, State Street Brats, and Whiskey Jacks. Must be 21 or older to enter, no purchase necessary.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen, UW-Madison class of 2002. Join me, Michelle Smallman, and Super Bowl champion Chris Canty every weekday morning from 5 to 9, right here on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand. On Wisconsin. Yeah.
I'm excited for this one. We got Hunter Vaughn behind the glass here at Everlight Solar Studios. My name is Colin Russo, joined by former Badgers Brad Nortman and Chris Orr. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, presented by Coors Light and also presented by Everlight Solar. Save money and save the planet. Ditch the energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. As a local company based out of Madison, they will be there with you every step of the way. To learn more about how you can save the money and save the planet, check out EverlightSolar.com. Special edition, since we don't have anybody at the Regent Street tailgate, it being an away game, let's get into some Two Truths and a Lie.
Who's telling the truth?
You can't handle the truth.
And who is a dirty, rotten, no-good liar?
You calling me a liar? I ain't calling you a truther.
Two Truths and a Lie on ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay is brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment, the premier entertainment and event services company in southern Wisconsin.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to get you here. So for those of you listening,
be careful.
For those of you listening who do not understand the rules of the game, it is Two Truths and a Lie. What we do is we have a contestant, that being Hunter Vaughn today, our producer of this very program. We have 3 statements about the Minnesota Golden Gopher football program. First of all, I'll ask you, Hunter, do you know anything like more than the average Joe about the Minnesota Golden Gopher football program?
I mean, only because I'm a college football nerd and I did have a relative go to Minnesota, but other than that, not a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean, normally I'm the one that writes these questions, or last year we did trivia for the window into the opponent. So
you think you think we have good trivia? I don't know. We came up with this, so do you think it's good, or do you have low expectations?
I'm more worried that you're going to have something that's actually not correct. That's what's more concerning.
That's
don't worry about
allegation.
We got three. We put our heads together.
That's a horrible allegation.
We got 2 college grads, and a college student right here. So we'll figure this out. We put our heads together and we put together some good trivia. Nonetheless, so Brad's gonna start us off, then Chris, then myself. Brad, you lead the way.
Okay, here we go. Number 1. The golden adjective for the Gophers originated in the 1930s when the team wore gold-colored pants and jerseys, and the radio announcer, Halsey Hall, described them as Golden Gophers.
Halsey Hall.
That's number 1. Number 2, Chris, go.
I wish that was a nickname instead of their real name. Anyway, number 2. Before the trophy was called Paul Bunyan's axe, it was called the slab of bacon. However, the slab of bacon mysteriously disappeared after the 1953 matchup between the Badgers and the Golden Gophers, thus changing the title to Paul Bunyan's Axe.
That's number 2. Number 3. The last time this rivalry, the Wisconsin-Minnesota rivalry, determined a Big Ten Conference champion was in 1962 when the number 3 Wisconsin Badgers defeated number 5 Minnesota for a berth into the 1963 Rose Bowl. That was, or 3, do you want us to repeat any of the statements?
I don't think so. So I know Chris's is correct.
Yeah, think out loud here. Think out loud here.
Yeah, Chris's was correct because I know it was the slab of bacon, and I don't think you guys would go and just, like, change it from 1953 to, like, 1952 or something like that.
Okay, so you're eliminating Chris.
Yeah. I also know that a golden gopher is a real thing. It's actually a ground squirrel. So I'm leaning towards Brad being incorrect. And it's, again, kind of the same thing with the year stuff. And I remember there being at least a relevant game where both of the teams were good before that 2019 game in the snow. So I'm going to go with Brad Nortman as the liar.
Brad Nortman as a liar. Brad's statement was that the golden adjective for the Gophers originated in the 1930s when the team wore gold-colored pants and jerseys, and their radio announcer, Halsey Hall, described them as golden Gophers. You know what, Brad? Was that true or was that a lie?
That was true.
That was true. We got it.
And I got it off the Minnesota website, off of the Minnesota Golden Gopher Sports website, so it's not inaccurate.
All right, you know what's interesting? I'm going to give you another chance here.
Oh, you're going to let me touch this?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll give you one more chance. If you go 2 for 2 on getting this wrong, that would be awesome. Do you want us to repeat our statements?
Yeah, let's do it for the radio audience.
Okay, radio audience. So Hunter blew it, and Brad, who was literally telling the truth, he's 0 for 1 in that regard. Nonetheless, Chris, I'll let you say yours, and then I'll go mine.
All right, here we go. Once again, before the trophy was called Paul Bunyan's Axe, it was called the Slab of Bacon. But the slab of bacon mysteriously disappeared after the 1953 matchup between the Badgers and the Golden Gophers. Thus, the title changed to Paul Bunyan's Axe.
And my statement is the last time this rivalry produced a Big Ten Conference champion, or determined one, I should say, was in 1962 when the number 3 Wisconsin Badgers defeated the number 5 Minnesota Golden Gophers for a berth into the 1963 Rose Bowl. Which of Chris or I is the liar?
Now I'm leaning towards Colin.
Why do you say that?
Because, again, I feel like Chris's is correct.
Okay.
And you guys would throw the whole year thing at me, though, too. So now I'm all in my head.
Maybe there's something wrong about the statement itself. It doesn't have to be a year thing.
No, but I know that that's what happened.
Oh, you do?
That the slab of bacon was lost, and then that's when they went to Paul Bunyan's Axe. So the only part of it would have to be that either it was the year, or did you say who won that 1953 game?
No, that's
so
irrelevant.
then, yeah, it would have been, it was lost.
And
so
you don't think the Badgers advanced to the 1963 Rose Bowl?
But again, based off of the fact that everything I'm saying about Chris's statement is true, that would lead me to believe that you are the liar, Colin Russo.
Decision time. Hunter Vaughn, who is the liar between Chris Orr and myself? You think I'm the liar?
Yep.
Chris, were you telling the truth or telling a lie there?
I was lying.
Yeah, Chris was lying.
What part were you lying about?
The year. You're right. So
it's so soft.
It was a slab
not soft.
It was
We
a
did
slab
this
of bacon. It was a slab of bacon before it was Paul Bunyan's Axe. But it got lost in 1943, and it didn't get changed.
We gave you 10 years.
It didn't get changed to the Axe until 1948, actually.
We gave you 10 years. We gave you 10 years. We gave you 10 years.
You still only changed one number by changing it by 10 years.
If we did it to 1944, that would be cheap. I agree. We even talked about that.
Yeah,
that would be cheap. 10 years? 10 years, Hunter. That was a long time in between. Chris Orr was the liar there. It was actually 1943, not 1953.
Still soft.
Badgers did advance to the 1963 Rose Bowl.
Mickey Mouse win by the 3 of you.
Hunter Vaughn, I guess, forgot about the number 3, number 5 matchup between Wisconsin and Minnesota. I mean, you should know something like that, but, you know.
Oh, yeah, because I'm sure you knew that.
I sure have. It's my trivia. Of course I remember it. Yeah, you forgot that one. It's all right. Don't worry about it, Hunter. You always got next time, next year maybe. We can see if you could bounce back. Nonetheless, that was this week's iteration Two Truths and a Lie, presented by Celebrations Entertainment. And Celebrations Entertainment planning events has never been easier. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, fun, memorable events. Since Game Picks is no longer a thing, we'll share what's going on with our pal Adam Mertz, who's not joining with us now because he's down in Georgia at the Georgia Tech game. But we'll share with that next. Mertz actually lost this year, and he gave us a nice video and some audio clips about our little punishment that we have. We'll show you that next. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
Santa's back. Back again. Santa's back.
That's not a Christmas song, Dad.
That's true, Sid, but I'm celebrating our ESPN Wisconsin Racine Danish Kringles Jingle for Your Kringle contest on Wilde and Tausch, where you could win Kringle for a year. It's back for another year.
Can I enter?
Sure, anyone can. All you have to do is submit your own original jingle to celebrate the holidays and Racine Danish Kringle to ESPNWisconsinContest.com. Then we'll pick the most creative songs, and our grand prize winner will get Kringle for a year. There's only one requirement. Make sure you include Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition in your jingle. Or, if you don't want to sing, but you still want to celebrate the holidays with the Racine Danish Kringle, call 800-4DANISH or visit Kringle.com and order their all-new Holiday Stick Sampler.
Sweet dreams of holiday Kringle, Mary Berry and apple, and lots of icing too.
Sid, what are you doing?
I'm working on my jingle. Kringle, I love you.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
If you want a fresh twist on surf and turf, look no further than North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Inspired by their time living in the Alaskan Gulf in southern Texas, owners Keith and Aaron brought together unique culinary backgrounds to create a truly authentic American restaurant here in Madison. After expanding to 2 more locations in DeForest and Verona, you can savor smoky, wood-fired barbecue and freshly prepared seafood from around the country. Explore their full menu and dining options at eatnorthandsouth.com. That's eatnorthandsouth.com.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and is expanding to Milwaukee. As a local company headquartered in Verona, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
You know Mountain Dew is like no other soft drink on earth. That's because Mountain Dew is the boldest soft drink the world has ever seen. Today, Mountain Dew, the most iconic flavor in the history of soft drinks, has spawned a new generation of outrageously craveable flavors that share its glory, like Mountain Dew Major Melon, Mountain Dew Code Red, Mountain Dew Spark, Mountain Dew Voltage, and Mountain Dew Livewire. So here's to the neon royalty of Dew and the Dew flavors that have come after it, the boldest flavors on earth.
ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay on Wisconsin On Demand is brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, helping you achieve your financial goals with confidence, care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
From L.A. to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
What is up, Wisconsin? I'm Hunter Vaughn. The Big Ten had 2 games go final yesterday. Number 11 Penn State went over to Michigan and played at Ford Field and took down Sparty 42-0 in that one. They led 13-0 at the half before they put up 29 points in the second half. And then in Lincoln, Nebraska, number 17 Iowa. They've got 10 wins now on the season as they won 13-10. And their next game will be next Saturday in the Big Ten Championship game in Indianapolis. They'll play the winner of Michigan and Ohio State, who are in the fourth quarter right now. Number 2 Ohio State trailing at number 3 Michigan 27-17 with 11:57 to go in that game. Both teams are undefeated, looking to head to Indianapolis for the Big Ten Championship game. One other game that is going on right now, and it's a tight one in West Lafayette. Indiana leads 28-25 on Purdue with 12:37 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Boilermakers are driving. 3 games to play this afternoon: Northwestern at Illinois, Maryland at Rutgers, and of course Wisconsin at Minnesota for the Axe.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
Baby, under 30 minutes till kickoff. Wisconsin on the road in Minnesota taking on the 5-6 Golden Gophers. Wisconsin sitting at 6-5, coming off a win last week in overtime over the Nebraska Cornhuskers, 24-17. Minnesota coming off a loss to Ohio State, 37-3. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light. My name is Colin Russo, joined by former Badgers Chris Orr and Brad Nortman. Hunter Vaughn helping us out behind the glass at the Everlight Solar Studios here in downtown Madison. ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. We're having a good time here. The game's on. A lot of energy today. It feels like a college football week because it's rivalry week.
It is.
I love this week.
Rivalry week feels different. And, I think conference championship week can be up and down because there's not as many games, and sometimes those games aren't that good.
Yeah, true.
Like, I think whoever Iowa's going to have next week, I think whether it's Ohio State or Michigan, I think they're going to have some trouble. And but nonetheless, rivalry week, that's when everybody brings their A game. ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay brought to you in part by Bruner Realty. Do you need help buying or selling your home? Contact the team at Bruner Realty today. For over 30 years, they've been providing excellent real estate management services in the Madison area. Go to BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started today. Bruner Realty, homes to appreciate. So we don't have one member of our crew here today for ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay pregame. Adam Mertz, guy's been around the program for many, many years. He's visiting his daughter in, I believe, the game's at Georgia Tech today in Atlanta. Georgia Tech, Georgia. He's going down to see that game live. So he can't join us today. But nonetheless, we had our game picks all year long where we chose games against the spread, over-under. Chris Orr, I believe, finished in first place. That's correct, Hunter?
Yes, he did.
Brad Nortman finished in second place.
Yep.
I finished in third place.
By the skin of your teeth, 1 point.
1 point? Well, I should have gotten that Iowa State. It was that.
What game was it that put you over?
He took Syracuse.
Yeah, there was that one. Plus, you missed the points for the Penn State-Ohio State game.
Yeah.
So you were sneaking by.
Should have been better than a what? And I should have gotten that Iowa State-Texas game last week. Nonetheless, that was a 10-point victory. So Mertzy lost, and we decided that our punishment for the person who lost all year long was going to be, what would we refer to it as? A pro-Minnesota video or a pro-Minnesota like
5 nice
video?
things about Minnesota.
5 nice things about Minnesota. So our pal Adam Mertz, maybe you'll be able to see this on the stream. You can catch it on YouTube on ESPN Madison, but you could just hear it nonetheless. Let's hear what Adam Mertz had to say in regard to some nice things about Minnesota.
Wisconsin College GameDay. Here in Sanford Stadium at the University of Georgia, where I'm spending Thanksgiving week, so I'll be looking forward to today's Axe game. But first, let's see what I'm wearing. I lost our season bet.
Wearing a Gopher shirt.
Colin, Brad, Chris all did better than me, so I have to tell you 5 reasons why I appreciate the Minnesota Gophers football program. I'm going to give it my best shot. Let's start with the chant with Ski-U-Ma. Not Ski-U-Ma, Ski-U-Ma. Interesting. Better than listening to Skull at Vikings games, I guess. 10,000 lakes. They are beautiful lakes. Wisconsin has more, but Minnesota does have some beautiful lakes. National titles. You got to give it up for Minnesota and their national titles. 7 of them, most in the leather helmet days, but still they have some in Wisconsin looking for one. Prince. No one can say he wasn't a Gophers fan. Probably more of a Vikings fan, but we'll give them Gophers fans too. And let's also give it up, I guess, for PJ Fleck.
Wow.
Professionalism, integrity, substance, everything you want in a football coach.
Not integrity.
Man, that was hard to say. Thanks for watching. I'll try to do better next year.
Oh, I gotta give it to Mercy on that one. Gotta give
Big applause for Adam Mertz. Congratulations.
Wearing a Minnesota T-shirt too. I mean, which was part of the bet.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that
Mertz, just make sure you go burn your first layer of skin off that Minnesota shirt was touching, buddy.
Oh,
wow. He did have an undershirt on there too.
Yeah, he definitely took it off for the game.
There we go.
You got to assume that. But nonetheless, that was Adam Mertz talking about some of his favorite things about Minnesota, the Minnesota Golden Gopher program, because he lost this year's iteration of game picks. We'll see what happens next year. Hunter, we got some prize picks to choose from since there's no longer a competition with choosing the games against the spread. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so I wanted to go Wisconsin-Minnesota game and just do picks off of that. Unfortunately, Prize Picks didn't have anything. So as the awesome producer that I am, I had to come up with another creative way for us to still do this. So I went with former Wisconsin Badgers for our 4 picks on Prize Picks.
Okay.
As a group, we're going to pick more or less on what we think they will have, and we'll see how we did during the post. Or actually, I'll just have to post about it maybe because you'll see what I had to do to get creative here. First up, college football world, Nakia Watson, now a running back for Washington State. They play Washington in the Apple Cup. More or less than 24.5 rushing yards for Nakia Watson.
I don't even know what he's done this year in terms of, but 24 seems low.
I'm going to say more just because I think they reach a point in the game that they just want to get out of there. And
that's the philosophy for Chris.
I'm just saying, I think he'll eventually, just because thinking about, like, if you're one of those top teams like Washington, like, you need to win today, like, decisively. Like, you need to embarrass Washington State in order to look a little better going to the Pac-12 championship game.
I guess you have a high note.
Like, just like the big, whoever wins this Michigan-Ohio State game, like, they're going to kind of have to pour some points on to Iowa in order just to make it look even a little better. So I'm going to say over, maybe.
I'm going to go with over as well. I think that's low.
But they throw it a lot,
They throw it a lot, and they run it, with Ward a lot. And they run it with Ward a lot.
They don't even give it to their backs.
You got to think.
But 24
Washington
is very
defense,
low, bro.
That Washington defense stinks. Like, I mean,
you think they stink?
The Washington
They're
defense?
good against the pass, bro.
Yeah, I could get a couple yards against them.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. They're gonna run it. You gotta run it.
Like that team, that they give up. I mean, they score 60 points a game, but they'll give up 40 points. Like, oh my goodness. Like, that's all those Pac-12 defenses, other than Oregon, really aren't that great. And Utah's got a great defense as well. Those teams don't really have great defenses. I'm gonna take the over on that as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go with the under actually. I just think Washington State is gonna be in a position where they're just gonna be it's the Cam Ward show, running, throwing. They're gonna be playing from behind all game.
It's true.
I could just see them abandoning the run early and just trying to how can we get as many points as fast as possible, and that doesn't involve Nakia Watson running the ball. Maybe if you would have added on like another 40 yards or 30 yards, that would be like total all-purpose yards. I could see that, but I don't know.
Just off the reluctance to run the ball. Yeah.
Well, since Colin and Chris went with the more, that's what we're going to go with as a group. We'll just go as majority
vote here because
we're going to do this together. Let's move to the NFL. Russell Wilson taking on the Cleveland Browns, more or less than 190.5 passing yards.
Browns got a good passing defense.
They got a good passing defense. They're going to hit him a lot, but they're just a rhythm offense, bro.
Yeah.
I think it might be in Cleveland.
It says
we don't know.
I believe
I'll look it up.
I think it's in Cleveland.
Yeah, but
Denver's
playing well. Denver's playing good football.
Denver's playing well. They're doing a lot of more like rhythmic offense. They want to run the ball.
So you want to root for Denver? I think since we're doing this as a group, let's decide this as a group. Mm-hmm. Do we root for Denver this week? I think we do.
All right, let's do it.
I think over.
Let's go the more.
You agree, Hunter?
Do it. Yeah, let's go the more.
Brad, you think you like that?
Yeah, I'm a Russell Wilson guy. Give me more.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you went under on that would be a bad look.
Get a text from Russ. Hey, what you doing?
This one's a layup. Jonathan Taylor taking on Tampa Bay. More or less than 0.5 passing, rushing, or receiving touchdowns. So he just needs to score a touchdown on offense.
Let's root for JT. We're rooting for some Wisconsin.
More. Yeah.
Now, finally, let's get away from football. Cole Caulfield, former Badger hockey player, played in the Frozen Four. He's taking on L.A. He plays for the Montreal Canadiens. And this afternoon...
You say Canadiens, like just...
Yeah, that's how they pronounce it. That's how they pronounce it. Stop it. More or less than 18 and a half minutes of ice time.
15 and a half?
18 and a half.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot on what line he's on. I haven't watched too much Montreal Canadian. I must have missed a lot of their games this year. But, I mean, Caulfield's a dog. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know their tendencies. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's why this is fun.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if he isn't on the first line, he's on the second line.
If he's on the second line, then he's hovering a little. He should be over. He should be over.
Out of a 60-minute game, that's less than a third.
Yeah, but they have 4 lines. They get a lot of guys moving in and out. I would say
he's got to play a majority.
Are we just going clean sweep more?
Let's do more.
We're rooting for Wisconsin
offense
today.
Let's do it. Life's too short to go under, baby.
18 and a half.
18 and a half.
18 and a half. Let's take it. I like it.
Let's go.
All right, perfect.
So
I'll lock that in.
Those are our 3 picks.
Yes.
So those are our 3. We need Nakia Watson to have 25 rushing yards. We need Russell Wilson to have 191 passing yards.
Yep.
And we need JT to score a touchdown. And we need Cole Caulfield to have 18 and a half minutes or more of ice time against their game against LA. Is that tonight?
Yeah, that is 3 o'clock our time.
3 o'clock our time. Wow, okay.
Is this like a parlay or is this individual?
So we could do this 2 different ways. We could go. We have to hit all 4 of them correct. If we all put in a little bit of moolah here, then if all 4 of those hit, it'd be $500 that we would get.
What do you have to put in? 100?
I've got it set at 50.
Okay.
So
otherwise, we could do a flex play.
Marcy would join us on this. We could do 10 each.
If we do a flex play, then if all 4 of them hit, it'd be $250, and then if 3 of them hit, it's 1.5 times the $50. So we'd win like $75.
I think. Go big or go home.
Yeah,
yes.
Go big.
We got to risk it to get
go
the
big.
big.
Let's
go going full degenerate here.
All 4.
Go big or go home.
What do you think? Yeah,
let's do it.
Go big or go home.
I like it.
Go big or go home.
I like it.
We're taking
the last
clean
game of the
over
year.
of Wisconsin over. That was this week's iteration of Game Picks, Prize Picks. We got some money on the line now. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on these iterations.
Well, you just did. So.
No, we just did. Too late now. Sorry, Craig Carmazin. We continue on. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brought to you in part by Carbon World Health. Carbon World Health is your complete solution for fitness, health, and beauty. With their cutting-edge science and impeccable service, it is unlike anything you've ever experienced. Redefine limitation in their state-of-the-art fitness facility. Visit carbonworldhealth.com for more. Iteration just under 15 minutes till kickoff. Wisconsin at Minnesota. Minnesota fighting for bowl eligibility. Wisconsin looking to take back the axe. We give our complete thoughts, game predictions, MVPs, and more next. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay.
Ever wonder how the best athletes find the power to jump higher, cut quicker, skate smoother, drive farther, and stick the landing? At Prevea Orthopedics in Green Bay, we know power starts with the hips. That's why Dr. Michael Ryan and our team of experts provide comprehensive and advanced expertise in hip care, unlike anywhere else. Come to Prevea Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, where we can preserve your hips so you can pursue your goals. Prevea Orthopedics, specializing in you.
Everywhere you look, from groceries to utilities to gas, prices keep going up. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin can dramatically help lower your energy costs year-round by replacing drafty windows and doors in as little as 6 weeks. And now you can save even more by taking advantage of
no interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th.
Bring the love of Wisconsin's outdoors in through the beauty and quality craftsmanship of Pella Windows and Doors. Whether you're updating or upgrading the look and comfort of your home, Pella has extensive lines of customizable options to meet your needs and your budget. Replacing drafty windows and doors can dramatically lower your energy costs. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin offers some of the most energy-efficient windows in the industry. 0% interest and no down payment for up to 36 months when you order by November 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 11/30/2023.
Braylon Allen here. When I'm running, tackling, and scoring touchdowns, I'll give you one guess what I'm wearing underneath my jersey and pads. That's right. Iron Jock Performance Gear is with me for every yard, every sprint, and every lift in the weight room. This is by far the best athletic apparel I've ever worn. Join me with Iron Jock Nation and get yours at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Former NFL player and Rose Bowl champion Tarek Saleh here for Carbon World Health. Carbon is much more than just another gym. They offer the best recovery in the area. Some of my favorites include red light therapy and cryotherapy. Improve your athletic performance, fitness and training results, speed up muscle recovery and reduce pain, and boost your mood with these simple and non-invasive treatments. Visit Carbon World Health today and ask for the ESPN Recovery Package. That's Carbon World Health.
Win a Coors Light full court experience with a trip to Minneapolis this March. Sign up now at participating locations around Madison to win an all-inclusive trip to the Men's College Basketball Conference Tournament. Don't miss your shot. Enjoy Blue Mountains and the best men's hoops in the Midwest. One lucky winner will be announced on Rutledge and Hamilton on January 8th. Visit Scotty Bar, Lucky's, Jordan Big Ten Pub, Nitty Gritty, Wando's, and Pooley's to scan the QR code and enter today. Must be 21 or older to enter. No purchase necessary.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our team has years of experience, which has prepared us to guide you through your life transitions and help you achieve your financial goals with confidence. We're fiduciaries and will never back gimmicks or instruments that chase single-day returns or put your long-term goals at risk. At Canopy, care, confidence, clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesh Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the Portland Trailblazers.
Lillard puts up the shot, and he buries it with a foul. Lillard still got smoke pouring out of that barrel.
Sunday on 100.5 ESPN.
Give me something.
Oh, he fumbled it. It's blocked unbelievably. Wisconsin with a chance to pounce. Who's got it? Touchdown, Badgers!
Under 10 minutes till the Axe game, the 2023 iteration of the Paul Bunyan Axe Trophy game. Wisconsin at Minnesota this year, looking to reclaim the Axe Trophy after losing the last two, 3-3 in their last six matchups, 62, 62, and 8 all-time win-losses between the Wisconsin Badgers and the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Colin Russo here, joined by former Badgers Chris Orr and Brad Nortman. It's ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay, brought to you in part by Stoughton Trailers. Big trailers and big opportunities since 1962. Stoughton Trailers has been a family-owned and operated business with collaboration, innovation, and dynamic team atmosphere. Stoughton Trailers is an exciting place to grow your career. Go to stojobs.com to apply today. Stoughton Trailers, big opportunity. Well, it's time to make a prediction. Brad, I'll start with you. Your game pick, score prediction, and MVP for today's Axe Trophy game. Go right ahead.
Well, I'm going to go with a Wisconsin victory. I'm going to go with 20-17.
20-17.
I do think it's going to be close. I do think it's going to be muddied up. I think it's going to be a little bit similar to the Nebraska game, right? I don't think – I think Wisconsin has more talent than Minnesota, but I think talent is more – or Minnesota is more together in their mission, their rowing in the boat, all that kind of stuff. But I do think Wisconsin gets the victory. I think the Nebraska win helped confidence.
Yes.
I think the season is coming to an end. It's weird, right? End of October, early November. It feels like you've been playing for a while, but there's still quite a bit left. It's not surprising to me that that's when Wisconsin, it's kind of like peak division, and Wisconsin was going through their turmoil, and they lost to 2 bad teams.
Yeah.
They're down to the last 2 weeks. Now, for sure, the last week before the transfer portal opens up. Even for guys that are transferring, they want to put some good performances on film.
Okay.
So I think the Badgers are going to play well.
Who's your MVP?
I'm going to go with Braylon Allen.
Braylon Allen today?
I think they're going to establish the run. He's probably gone after this year.
Yeah.
So this is
one of the last
game,
times we're going to see him,
and he won't be able to. He wants to be able to beat Minnesota in his last.
But he's also
game.
individually as well. You
Yes.
got to put on. You got to.
Right.
You got to show out a little bit if
Yep.
you're a running back, especially because it's just a couple games here and there that really works on film.
And it would help for him. And a scout in the NFL told me that like 80% of the evaluation is game film, right? So it's like all you do with the combine interview is great, but it's like 80% game film. Braylon's had an okay year.
Yeah.
It would help him if he had a 200-yard game against Minnesota.
Yeah, a big explosion into the Saturday
Looked like
night
the dude.
statistics. Yeah, it's like, oh, like this is the Braylon we've been looking for. Then it's almost like, oh man, like I guess he was banged up all year. Like
for sure.
You almost get to dump the rest of the season if you have that big time game.
Good point.
I think we win 17-14. I think this is a defensive dominated game. I think Minnesota has a really good defense. At least they did early on in the season. We're both struggling on offense. I think if we control the line of scrimmage, we'll win, which I think we do in the end. It's a gritty win.
MVP of today's game?
My MVP is going to be, I want to say Braylon too, because I just think that'll be important for us to win. But I'm going to go with Jake Chaney, man. Jake Chaney. I think that Minnesota's going to try to establish the run. They're going to lean on their run game. My dog Jake going to handle business.
Hunter Vaughn behind the glass. I'll ask you your game prediction, score prediction, and MVP of today's game.
23-10 Badgers. I had a hard time even giving Minnesota a touchdown in this game.
Wow.
I think they're going to struggle. I really – this is probably me being hopeful, but I think they're going to come out there and be like, we're not letting you get a bowl game.
Yeah.
We're going to stop you, and this is going to be the most intense team we've seen. And this is also me being hopeful, but Skylar Bell is getting a touchdown. He's going to bounce back. He's my guy. I love him. So he's going to bounce back. He's going to be the MVP for Wisconsin.
Okay.
I like it.
That's Hunter Vaughn's prediction. My prediction, I'm going to go with 16-13, clean sweep, Badgers win. I think, to Chris's point, it will be a defensive-minded game. I think points are going to be tough to come by. I do think that the Badgers are going to start slow once again. I got no reason to believe otherwise. I'm not sure how much fire they're really going to play with today. But nonetheless, as long as he's healthy, I don't know what's going on with his head injury, Hunter Wohler. I'm going to go with him as my MVP for today's game. And that'll be my pick as we close out this week's iteration of game predictions. You could catch us post-game, Chris, Brad, and I, at Pooley's. And you'll catch us directly after the game for 2 more hours. Having a good time here for ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay. We want to thank Hunter Vaughn for helping us out behind the glass. DJ Stanek helping us out in Milwaukee as well, putting the show together. Final pregame of the year for the regular season, guys. Hopefully the Wisconsin Badgers can handle this and handle business and take back the Axe Trophy. It's been ESPN Wisconsin College GameDay sending you to kickoff. Enjoy the game. Catch us postgame.
At LASIK Plus, each one of our patients is unique, so we customize their journey to them.
I have a million questions about LASIK and a